Hello, everyone. My name is Allan. I'm a longtime writer here at Win Daily. I've written for NHL and UFC, and now we've decided to start our very own video, the Win Daily MMA Betting Academy. I'm here with my partner, Mo. Mo, introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? You know me. I've been posted on the MMA Gambling Expert channel. We're finally going to start our own show, and we're going to give you guys some excellent predictions, some excellent picks, and we don't charge anything. So tune in. We're going to record. We're going to give you guys 5 official picks a week. So tune in, and we're going to record how we're doing. And also, we're also going to start a little competition. So whoever posts 5 picks and gets them all right, I'm sorry, guys, this is my first time doing this. Okay, so whoever posts all 5 picks and gets them all right, we're gonna record you into a competition, and the competition is gonna have a grand prize. We'll talk about it more later down the line. I have it all planned out, and let's get it going.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, this weekend is a very big card. It's UFC 275. I'll bring up a little screen here. Got a big one, Teixeira versus Prochazka. As you may have noticed, this fight is actually happening in Singapore. So it's the first time UFC has gone abroad in a really long time because of COVID. We're going to be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and we got 12 fights. So let's break it down right away. So we'll start with Jocelyn Edwards versus Ramona Pascal. Mo, would you like to carry it away?
Sure. So we got Jocelyn Edwards and Ramona Pascal. You guys know I'm honest and I tell it how it is. I don't really care for this fight. Jocelyn Edwards, she's a well-rounded fighter. She lost 2 of her last 3 fights. Both of them were coming in with grappling heavy game styles, and they're able to out-wrestle her, hold her down. She does have 8 finishes in her 10 fights. So she is live. I don't think she's going to finish Ramona Pascal, and I'll tell you why. She's moving up in weight. She's going up to 145 pounds. Ramona Pascal has a grappling heavy attack. So it's going to be a close fight. I don't really like these close women's MMA fights, I'll be honest with you guys. But because it's such a close fight, I really do think it's a 50-50 fight. We don't know much about each one, honestly. So I'm going to go with this fight's going to go the distance with my official bet for this card. And I think Ramona Pascal is actually going to take this by decision. So that's going to be my pick.
So I'm not too far off. I agree. This is a low-level women's MMA fight. Not really expecting much from this. Both these fighters are coming in off of losses. Jocelyn's coming in off of 2. I wouldn't be surprised if these 2 don't actually stay in the UFC much longer at all. I would, if I'm doing daily fantasy, I would honestly fade this fight. I think it's low scoring on both sides. I'm on the opposite side of the fight. I think Jocelyn's going to win, but I completely agree with you that it's going to be a decision. And my official pick for this fight is going to be a decision.
In favor of
Jocelyn.
Okay. And so mine's going to be, if you guys are familiar, it's going to be the over. And it's going to be, I'm going to give you guys the odds right now. Oh, wow. The over-under odds. So we got 1.5. Over is minus 400. Under is plus 275. 2.5 minus 230. I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to place a bet on this, but I think Ramona Pascal is going to take this fight by decision. I'm with Allan here. So, yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Perfect. Let's move right along. So here, I think it's going to be kind of similar story to the first fight. We got Silviano Gomez Juarez and Naliang. So for this one, I'm also going to fade it for DFS purposes. This is, as far as I'm concerned, another lose in your cut situation. I don't see a bright future for either of these two in the UFC, but they can at least stay a little bit longer if they win this fight. I'm personally leaning towards Silviana, but realistically, I think that, again, this is a low level women's MMA competition. There's not a lot of DFS points in this one, and I think it's going to end by decision.
All right. And guys, you know me, I don't get excited about these fights, but I do kind of like the Dragon Girl, man. Naliang, she's fun to watch, you know. And first take, her record is pretty impressive. At the age of 25, she's coming in with a 19-5 record, 7 KOs, 10 submissions. The girl's a finisher, 17 out of 19 by finish. Debut fight, she lost to Ariane Carlosi, who she's a solid fighter. It was a banger fight. I was impressed. I mean, she hung in there. She held her own. She looked like she was tiring out, and she got finished that fight. But she showed some sparks of potential, you know. And then we got Silvana, 6 knockouts in her 10 wins. She'll be at a 5-inch disadvantage in reach. She shows a really poor IQ against in her first UFC fight, dropped her fighter and just recklessly jumped into her guard and got tapped out very quickly. Her grappling skills need some work. She's going to be the smaller fighter. She's going to be the weaker fighter. I think Liang's grappling is going to take this fight for her. I'm going to go Liang. I'm going to take the money line. And I might throw some props in there too, honestly, guys. So I'm going with Liang.
Yeah, as I said, I wouldn't touch this fight with a 10-foot pole. I'm leaning towards another decision here, but realistically, this is not one I'm going to be putting some money on. So as far as that's concerned, I think we got the first two out of the way. Ready to hop on to fight number 3. It's Danao Batgari versus Kyung Ho Kang. It's an interesting one here. The line's really close, and I think sparks are going to fly. I haven't been impressed with Kyung Ho Kang's opponents. I see he has 17 wins and 9 losses, but I don't think those 17 wins were against anyone impressive, especially I think those 3 that we can see here are inside the UFC. Yeah, none of these guys like scream out to me as a top UFC caliber. None of them are particularly impressive, and the losses are losses. Like, he just got completely dominated by Ronnie Yaya on the ground. Like, it wasn't even close. Danao Batgari, he's got an extremely high striking output, got fast combos, and he can put some power behind them too. I think there's a good chance he can actually get a KO in this fight. I really like him to win, and that's the pick I would take. I would take Danao Batgari in this fight.
All right. You know, I do like Danao Batgari. He's got some power in his hands. However, you know, you're going to see out on this card, there's a theme. You've already seen it. I've taken Pascal, the grappler. I've taken Liang, the grappler. And for this fight, I'm going to take Kang. Again, he's a grappler. He has more experience than Dana. And so I like Kang. He has 11 submissions on his record. He's been finished twice, but he's also fought 23 fights. So a lot more fights than Dana. He fought up at lightweight and featherweight and has since made his move to bantamweight with success, compiling a record of 13-4-1 with his last fight being a defeat to grappling specialist Ronnie Yaya. Ronnie Yaya, obviously, everyone knows Ronnie Yaya is every single fight he's won has mainly been due to his grappling. Everyone, not a good striker, but he's tough and, you know, he's tricky to fight. And he out-grappled Kang in that fight because Kang came in with a grapple-heavy approach. I don't think Dana's that good at that in the grappling department. So I'm gonna go with Kang. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take the money line on this fight. And one fun fact I did realize when I was researching is Dana Betagurel actually beat Kaikar of France, who's fighting for the belt at flyweight soon. So, but yeah, I'm going Kang by decision. So,
I don't even hate that one. I think this one is a rather close fight. I will say though that if I would take Kang, I would definitely take him by decision. I think you can see from all his UFC wins, at least these two, they're split decisions. I think he does rely on the cards a little bit too much. So especially in the UFC level, at least he's definitely gone quite too many decisions for my liking. But yeah, I think if he does win, it'll come by decision. This one, I'm a little bit more confident about. Jake Matthews versus Andre Fialo. Fialo's on a bit of a run as of late. These two fights came quite recently, as you can see, 1 month and 1 week ago, and then 2 weeks after that. So 3 weeks ago, he fought again, and both of them were first-round KOs. So barely broke a sweat. That's why he's back 3 weeks later, ready to fight again in Singapore. And they paired him up with Jake Matthews. I think this is a great matchup for him. Jake Matthews is coming off a loss. That's really not a great place to be compared to someone who's on the roll that Fialo is in. Fialo's only had really one loss lately, and it's came against Michel Pereira, who's now in the top 15 in the welterweight division. So that's nothing to be ashamed of, and I like to see Fialo's trajectory here.
okay. Um, um, I respect your decision. I see where you're coming from on this one. However, Fialo has a lot of momentum going in his favor. And recently, since I've been betting and breaking down fights and researching, actually, I've been trying this thing out where I kind of compare who has more momentum right now. And actually, like about 75% of the time, the fighter with more momentum has been winning the fights. Andre has solid momentum. He's never been submitted. Solid, lots of power. He's physically strong. I see a lot of people high on Matthews, thinking Matthews is going to kind of ragdoll him, but Matthews just recently got murked by Sean Brady. He beat Diego Sanchez by decision, and it looked awful. However, credit to Diego Sanchez. I think he fought in EFC, and he looked pretty good. So he got a decision on Meek, another decision. And then he also lost that Anthony Rocco Martin by submission. I could definitely see Andre Fialo shocking everyone and taking this and finishing the fight. I could see both sides. Jake Matthews, 27 years old. And I'm going to have to go with Andre Filo here. I'm honestly riding his momentum. He's confident. He's tough. He's fought a tough record. Looks like he's piecing it together. And his loss came against, Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira has made me money so many times, just beating up everyone that the UFC gives him, that is supposed to be hyped up and everything. Michel Pereira beats him up really bad, looks better in every single fight, and people still doubt him. So Michel Pereira is a tough fighter. I love Michel Pereira. I don't fault him at all for that. If it wasn't for that, he'd be on a 5-fight win streak. So I'm going to go with Fialo. Fialo by knockout's actually good too. So I can see any of those happening. So
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. I'm taking Fialo by knockout. As you mentioned, he's only Jake Matthews has only got decision wins since 2018. They haven't really been that great either. And his 3 wins here that you can see that I flashed on the screen earlier: Rostem Akman, Emil Weber Meek, and Diego Sanchez, as you mentioned. Diego Sanchez not in the UFC, and in fact, none of these 3 guys are in the UFC anymore. So he hasn't had a win against an actual UFC caliber fighter in a while. And he's also a very low output fighter. I think Fialo punches harder, punches more often, and I like him by KO as well. I really think that's the way to go with this fight. That's one that I will be putting some money on.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's move right along. We're making good time here. Let's keep it going. Okay, we got Heiser Matahashte versus Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is someone I like a lot, and Matahashte is one who I really don't. If anyone saw this fight in the Contender Series, I really don't think Matahashte won. And so the judges gave it to him, but I think it was a really close one. And the fact that he made it into the UFC off of it was quite surprising. I think even the logic that Dana used when he let him in was like, oh, well, you were such an underdog and you beat the odds, so we're going to let you in. It wasn't much about the quality of the fight as much as just the fact that he won it. I really like Steve Garcia. As you can see, he's got a bit of a reach advantage here. He's got good strike efficiency at around +2. But strike efficiency is a stat I like to use a lot. It's basically strikes landed per minute minus strikes absorbed per minute. So that's how you get your strike efficiency, and Steve Garcia's is pretty good. Steve Garcia is actually rocking 100% takedown defense, and Steve Garcia's got a pretty steel chin. He's able to come back from a lot, so I think he's able to come back definitely from whatever Matahashte can throw at him. I think these odds are actually a little bit too close. I'm definitely leaning towards Steve here.
So I actually really do appreciate that breakdown, Allan, because kind of swayed my opinion a bit, but I want no part of this fight at all, man. Machete's on a 5-fight win streak. I get it. I couldn't find much good tape on these guys, to be honest with you. But I'm not too high on any of them. I don't think I'm going to be taking a pick in this fight. However, I have asked some people that I trust and I've been talking to, and this kind of like underground MMA thing we use. So, and let's see. Yeah, the majority of them are passing on this fight. I'm actually, to pick, I'm going to go off of Allan's pick. I'm going to go with Steve Garcia. But am I going to put anything on this fight? Not really, guys. There's better areas, I'll be honest.
I'm fairly confident in Steve, so I'll make this one of my more official picks, where I'm not taking him by knockout or by submission or by decision. I'm just taking him straight up money line. Steve Garcia over Heiser Matahashte. Perfect.
Okay.
Let's move it right along. Got an interesting one in this one. I think we're gonna might raise some eyebrows. We got Sung Wu Choy versus Josh Coulibau. I think I think the odds are maybe a little farther apart than they should be, but like the fight is a little more even than the odds suggest. But I do think Sung Wu Choy is going to win. Sung Wu Choy is taller than Coulibau. He's got a bigger reach. He's got very crazy knockout power. If you've seen him fight, who was that fighter he put out? He put out someone like really, really bad. It was a Rosa. Yeah, he cleaned him out. That was very scary knockout.
Love that.
Yeah, and I think he's got really, really good strikes from distance. And if Coulibau can't cut down that distance, I think he's going to have real problems. I think he's going to get picked off from the outside a lot. I would probably lean towards Sung Wu Choi in this one. It's not one that I'm going to be putting a lot of money on, but that's kind of where I'm leaning for this fight.
I'm actually right with you on this one. I was doing research. I got excited. I seen Sung Wu Choi in the card versus Josh Coulibau. I wasn't very high on him. I mean, he has a good looking record. But there's something just about him. I think Sung Wu Choi is way physically stronger. Honestly, Sung Wu Choi has fought the much more difficult competition. He's going to have longer reach in this fight. He's going to be the stronger fighter in this fight. And he's definitely by far the more technical striker, and actually probably with more power too. He actually was a member of the Korean Muay Thai national team and took a bronze medal in the Muay Thai World Championships when he represented South Korea. and he is a former 2-time top fight featherweight champion. He's fought at multiple different fight organizations. He's fought at a few weight classes, and he has a bad loss to Caceres. He made so many mistakes, almost finished Caceres, actually hit him with an illegal knee. They stood Caceres up. And you guys know Caceres, I mean, he's a veteran. He's been in the UFC for a long time. Is he the best? No. Is he ever going to be special? No. He's entertaining. He's going to win fights, and they're going to keep him around. So Caceres, I mean, he's well-rounded. So Wu Choy got a little excited. He was having success in the grappling. I mean, in the striking category, knocked him down, and then kneed him in the head with an illegal knee, which they gave him time to recover for, when he could have easily finished that fight. So that's one mistake. Second mistake, he charged at Caceres once he started finding his rhythm and piecing him up. Just straight up, just charged at him. Caceres hit him with like a jiu-jitsu style duck under. It wasn't even that clean. Took his back, finished the fight. So can Coulibau take this guy's back? I mean, Coulibau's a jiu-jitsu purple belt, and actually not very impressive at all. Very sloppy grappling, excellent striking, very good cardio, heavy volume for this guy. I mean, heavy volume, mixes up pretty well. But go look at a picture of Wu Choy and look at a picture of Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner bullied Coulibau. Zero tech. It was just, he just bullied him and submitted him. So I'm pretty confident in this one. I like Wu Choy to win here. However, I think this is going to be fight of the night here. It's going to be the most entertaining fight on the card. So I'm going to take Wu Choy, and I'm going to have a few different ways I'm going to take him. So that's where I'm going to go with this one.
For sure. I definitely don't mind that. As I said, I'm on Wu Choy as well. For DFS users, I think Coulibau offers some good value, but I don't think he's going to win the fight. But as Mo said, yeah, he gets a lot of volume. He strikes a lot. So if you can sneak him in there if you need to, I definitely don't mind that. But yeah, I'm going to take Wu Choy to win. Let's move right along here. Got a really interesting one here. Brennan Allen versus Jacob Malcoon. Jacob Malcoon, only known for being a training partner to Bobby Knuckles, who dropped off the card. So now we just have Jacob Malcoon on this card against Brendan All in Allen. I think this one is going to be a wash. What's funny is I've bet on both of these guys before, and they both let me down. When I bet against Malcoon, he's let me down, obviously, a couple times here, where I thought he was going to win both these fights, and he probably should have lost both those fights. And I think, betting against him didn't really work out. And same thing with Brendan Allen. I remember betting for him against Chris Curtis, and that not going too well. But I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I'm taking Brendan Allen. I think he's got a crazy amount of jiu-jitsu skills, especially compared to Jacob Malcoon. I think he's going to destroy him in that area. And even on the feet, I think Brendan Allen's more than capable. So the submission advantage by itself would be enough to take him, but the fact that he can handle himself on the feet too is more than enough, as far as I'm concerned, to take Brendan in this one.
Honestly, we're going to agree again here. I see a lot of people hating on Jacob Malcoon. Jacob Malcoon is pretty strong, but for being a jiu-jitsu coach, I think he has a purple belt. Actually, submission game is not very impressive. However, he can kind of bully people. Brendan Allen's coming down to weight class. His cardio is already terrible. And I could see the fight going either way, but I can't get myself to go with Malcoon here. Malcoon's, I guess he has a boxing win on his resume, but I'm torn here, guys. Later on, go to the MMA Gambling Expert channel, and I'll give you guys my official pick. As of now, I see really bad flaws in both guys. So I'll take the over on this one. Let's just go with that.
Interesting. I was going to take Brendan Allen inside the distance. So What I will say is that the one big thing that jumped out to me is Brendan Allen's got 23 fights. Chicken Malcoon's got 7. That is a big discrepancy in fights and like it's just overall experience. I think the experience will shine through on this one. Again, I'm taking Brendan Allen. Perfect.
I agree with you, but you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Brendan Allen, last fight, he beat Sam Alvey by rear naked choke. And
if he didn't beat Sam Alvey, then I think that there was going to be a larger problem. Sam Alvey's the joke of the Win Daily MMA community. I think the guy can't get a win to save his life. So I think he did have a draw, though, against Nico Price, which is kind of hilarious. But
fun fact, yeah. Brandon actually lost to my jiu-jitsu, one of my jiu-jitsu training partners. So that's pretty cool. And shit, man. Yeah. I'm leaning towards Brandon Allen, We'll see. Let's go. Let's take the next one. I'm excited for this one. Now we're hitting the fights that we're getting, I'm getting happy for these ones. I'm ready for these ones.
For sure. So am I. I'm really excited for this one. We got Jack Della Madelena versus Ramazan Emeev. I've always seen Emeev as kind of like middle of the pack UFC. Like he's not on the verge of getting cut, but he's also not going to reach the top 15. He's just somewhere in the middle there. Jack Della Madelena, like that guy's he's a baller. I think he's got some real potential. There's just so much to love about him. I saw him on the Contender Series, just domination. I saw him in his last fight right here against Pete Rodriguez. I have a lot of words about Pete Rodriguez. None of them are really nice. I don't think it's that impressive to dog on Pete Rodriguez, but he took care of him quite handily. So, as one should. But as far as Jack as a fighter, very good takedown defense. He's got a high striking output, an insanely high striking output in his UFC career. He's sitting at a 0.4 strikes landed per minute. That is crazy. Ramazan, for comparison, is just 2.52. So that's a almost times 4 difference. That's crazy. And he's also got a lot of KO power. Like Jack Della Madelena can put people to sleep. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing in this fight. Ramazan Emeev, decision king, the low output altogether, and 7 UFC fights. All of them have been decisions. I think taking Jack Della Madelena by KO in this one is a non-controversial pick. I'm loving it, and I can't wait for Saturday to watch him fight.
Yes, man. Now it's going to be fun, man. I'm going to disagree with you here. Ramazan Emeev, man, he's like kind of reminds me of a Gegard Mousasi. Obviously not as sharp. Gegard Mousasi is one of the best to ever fight in MMA. But he has a style of just slowing the fight down. He's good everywhere. He doesn't get finished. And he's able to slow you down and super lanky. He can hold his own on his feet. And he has this very tricky high crotch crackdown takedown where he can finish it in multiple ways. Takes you to a crackdown position and very good from there. And that he doesn't even use a cage. He doesn't in the center of the ring. So when he gets you against the cage, he's going to try some upper body takedowns and stuff. But what I really like about him is he'll take a nice Russian tie and he'll take you from the middle of the octagon, put you on the cage, control you, land damage, and keep slowing you down. So Jack Della Madelena, solid fighter. I was so impressed with him on his last fight, but that was Pete Rodriguez. Ange Lusa was actually so hyped up by all these UFC fighters and stuff like that. I could see why dude was jacked. He looked like a freak of nature. And Jack Madelena took him out, whatever. That's an impressive win. But before that, he took out a bunch of nobodies. He's still young. So I'm going to ultimately take Ramazan Emeev here as the underdog. And I'm very happy about this pick, guys. I can't believe the odds are like this.
I'm gonna disagree. One of my picks is gonna be Jack Della Maddalena by KO. I really like him here tonight, so we'll see what happens. Obviously,
That's good.
by Saturday we're gonna find out which one of us is right. Let's move on to the next one. I think we've beaten this one to death a little bit. Okay, Manel Cat versus Rogerio Bonsarin. Talking about fighters who've been hyped up by everyone in the UFC. Manel Cat is one of those people, and I feel bad because it didn't really start out that well for him. As you can see here, you got Pantoja, who's really good, who took care of business, and then Mateus Nicolau. That was a really, really close fight. I took Nicolau betting wise, so I wasn't upset with the decision. But I can understand how if you bet on Cap, that you were not very happy with the way the judges saw that one, because you could have easily argued that he won. But then, hey, he bounced back. To his own credit, look at this. Ode Osborne flying knee KO, and then Jalgas Jimagulov put him out too. Can't be mad at that. I like Manel Cap in this one, and I think Rogerio Bonsarin is a live dog, especially if you're using DFS. I think, for some of those underdog plays, you might have to look at someone like Bonsarin, but I really don't like Bonsarin's chances here against Manel Cap. I haven't liked Bonsarin since he lost to Kai Car-France. That was a really ugly one, and I think Manel Cap, he's got the KO power, 2 straight wins, very athletic, and both of these wins, by the way, were in the first round, and his strike differential's even. Whereas Rogerio Bonsarin has -1. And Bonsarin's got 3 losses since 2019. He's at 1-3. It's not looking that good for him. He needs to string some things together if he wants to stay in the organization.
So I'm kind of leaning the same way. Bonsarin definitely has had the toughest level of competition. Bonsarin's a farm boy, very strong, very freaking patient. And again, just like Amiv, he just slows people down. He's very strong, good defense, good chin, well-rounded. He fights from every position. Strong body lock takedowns, has some explosion pop in his step. Good top control, powerful, and able to advance position on the mat. He's good everywhere. Cap, we made bank on Cap's debut, as he's a highly touted prospect with finishing ability, and they came out and said he was going to beat Pantoja. He was a big favorite. I got Alexandre Pence at -125. Like, who is this guy to do that? And he's been popped for roids multiple times. Recently got popped, so he might have to actually fight this one as a clean fight. But yeah, I like a lot of these picks. Like, there's some good underdogs. I'm taking Bonsarin, and I'm very confident in this one.
This is going to be another one where we'll have to wait for Saturday to see. As I said, I don't mind Bonsarin as an underdog pick for FanDuel purposes or DraftKings purposes, but as far as the winner of the fight, I think Cop's got this one. The odds are -235 to +190 for Bonsarin on the comeback. So, we'll see. We're going to start to get into the big fights, though. So I'm just itching. I can't wait. Let's go to the first one, which is actually a rematch. Yeah, between Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Whaley Zhang. If you remember, these two women fought in a title fight, 5-rounder. This one's going to be a 3-rounder. And it was one of the contenders for Fight of the Year when they last fought. And it was actually Joanna's last fight 2 years ago. So she has not fought since. And Whaley Zhang has since lost her belt and then lost the rematch, which I don't think she deserved, but that's a discussion for another day. She lost both fights, and now she's back against Joanna. Joanna's number 6, Whaley's number 3. So we got literally the best of the best. I think this might set up a title fight with the new champ, Carlos Esparza. And I'm actually leaning towards Joanna. I thought Joanna won the last fight, even though it was very close. And I think that she will beat Whaley.
I mean, I'm actually leaning right with you here. I like Joanna. Joanna's feisty, man. Joanna fights. She's got a big ego. And she's dirty. She's nasty. I also like Whaley Zhang, and I'm just trying to pull up the official scorecard for you guys. Like they fought their first fight in a 5-round fight, and very close fight. Whaley Zhang took, I think, a split decision. Excellent fight. Everyone was watching, whatever. So it's going to be important. Who won those first 3 rounds in that 5-round fight? I want to see who did. And honestly, if I see the judges say Joanna was winning those first 2 out of 3 rounds, then Joanna's a pick here. Another underdog pick for me. That's like 3 for now. And yeah, I'm going to take Joanna here. And I'm just going to bet the money line. I'm pretty confident in this one, too.
So I'm also on Joanna. I think she's my favorite underdog of the card. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm taking Joanna by decision. I think these two are going to put up another classic. It's going to go to decision again. And I'm definitely taking Joanna, and she's going to set up the rematch between her and Carla. Because if you remember back in 2015, Joanna actually beat Carla Esparza. So I do think that Joanna will once again claim the title.
I can't wait. I want her to claim that title.
All right, let's move right along here. Now we got one of the 2 main events, the co-main. It's the UFC Flyweight Championship. We got the Bullet, Valentina Chefchenko versus Talia Santos. Now, whenever someone fights Chefchenko, they have odds that are very similar to this. Minus 630 is not news when fighting Chefchenko. But I think Talia Santos is a little bit different, but not that much. I think Talia Santos is probably the strongest competition that Valentina can face in the flyweight division. But realistically, there is really no competition in the flyweight division for Valentina Shevchenko. I think this is another fight where she's going to take it. But if I were to bet on anyone against Valentina Shevchenko, it would probably be Talia Santos until we see some of the more younger fighters come up to the top. But yeah, no, I'm not betting on Talia Santos. I'm betting on Valentina Shevchenko. She's going to win. It's not really going to be close. You know, from the crazy fast kicks, her only loss that wasn't against Nunes was in like 2010 against Liz Carmouche. You know, even if you say that the odds are a little bit off, like it's not enough to where it makes sense to put any money on Talia Santos.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people, man. I hate this little trend, man. A lot of people are followers. They hop on this huge underdog just to state that they picked that underdog in case they pull the upset, man. Honestly, Shevchenko's been canning people. Shevchenko's well-rounded. Shevchenko can grapple. She could strike. And what I like about her is she has the heart of a champion. In my opinion, she is one of the most accomplished, one of the most skilled martial artists to ever step foot in the UFC. Definitely in the girls, by far, the girls' best fighter to ever fight. And, you know, Talia Santos is impressive, man, but she is immature in her game. For a girl with 19 wins, very immature with her game. And the girl that lost to Mara Barella, something like that, I'm sorry, peace out. Shevchenko is going to take this one. You don't need me to tell you that, guys. Just seriously, just take Shevchenko here.
I will say
don't bet gods.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were to bet this fight, bet something a little more specific than just Shevchenko, because there's still not a lot of value in a minus 630 favorite. I will say that this loss to Mara Barella was a split decision, but still, there is really no excuse losing to Mara Barella, and especially not if you're about to fight Shevchenko. I think, you know, this one we can put to bed, and we can go over to the main event, take Shevchenko on this one. All right. Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka. If Mo remembers, I bet on this one quite early. I really, really did like Yuri Prochazka. I think I got him at minus 175. I could not believe it was that close. I'm sorry. I am going to bet against the 29-year-old against the 42-year-old in a title fight. Like, Yuri Prochazka is the future of the light heavyweight division. I do not trust Glover's tank. I think that Yuri Prochazka's striking style is extremely unorthodox. He's throwing a bunch of Muay Thai strikes with his elbows and knees. They're going all over the place. Like, people need to adapt to his fighting style, and you can't really do that when you're in the octagon with him. It's very strange. We saw that in his fight against Volkan Ozdemir, throwing elbows all over the place. We saw that in his knockout, in his last knockout here against Dominic Reyes, spinning elbow to the face. It was nasty, put him out cold. He was dominating the whole fight before that. Like, that was not a surprise that he was going to win that fight as it went on, but I think that Yuri Prochazka went to another level in that fight, and we're going to see him go to, champion status in this one. I love Prochazka's 7.19 strikes landed per minute. That's insane. And it's a little crazy. And when you get a little crazy with strikes, then you can leave yourself open to, getting those counters. But, as I said, I think Glover's old, he's slow. And the only real chance he has here is on the ground, as we saw against Jan Blachowicz. But realistically, I think, every dog has its day. The old dog's day is almost done. And we're going to see Yuri Prochazka, the new champion of the light heavyweight division.
Man, we're disagreeing a lot here. I'm taking a lot of underdogs here, guys. And if you guys were following me on my last channel, you guys, you see that I don't really look at stats. I don't care. I might point them out sometimes just because I sound smart doing it. I watch tape. I watch all the fights. I've been fighting my whole life. I watch all the technique. I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I'm training right now for my own fight. So I'm going to tell you guys, Yuri has a lot of holes in his game right now. The light heavyweight division right now in the UFC, there's some people to be excited about, but right now the top is dominated by people. The UFC can market Yuri, so they're gonna push him. Glover is a guy they think he could beat, so they're gonna give Yuri the title shot here. But Yuri's grappling, honestly, it's pretty bad. It sucks. But this fight can go either way. It's 50-50. So far, no one stopped Yuri's reckless, unorthodox forward charging assault with his knockout part. No one stopped him yet. But so far, in recent time, no one has been able to actually put Glover away. And they have been coming close, and then they just look exhausted, and then just Glover gets on him, submits him. And Glover might actually be the best guy, jiu-jitsu, one of the best grapplers to ever grace the light heavyweight division of the UFC, man. If you go back and look on his fights, he'll take you down and make you look like you don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. He makes everyone look weak. He made Jan Blachowicz look like a slob. And you guys see what Jan Blachowicz did to Israel Adesanya. So I'm going to be honest with you guys here. I'm going to lay a little bit of money on Yuri by knockout, just because he might do it. No one has stopped him yet. So I can't come here and tell you guys he's not going to knock him out, because Glover can be knocked out. So I could see definitely Glover getting knocked out here. I'm going to lay a little on Yuri by knockout, but I like the value here on Glover. Again, I'm going to take the underdog, and I think Glover's going to survive that. I think Glover's coming in motivated. Glover has a gym now. Glover has lots of fighters he's been promoting that are in the UFC. So this is his livelihood right now. He's making money doing it. I'm taking Glover Teixeira here. He's coming in as an underdog. I'm gonna take Glover Teixeira to win the fight. However, he has to make it out of the Yuri's onslaught. First round and a half, he has to make it out of there. So we'll see.
We will see. We will see Saturday in Singapore, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Are you ready to lay on your top bets for this weekend?
Yes, sir. So guys, just a little thing we got going on. Right now, we're doing some trial and error in the show. But we had to get a show up for you guys this week. Please leave what you guys like, what you guys don't like about the show in the description, in the comments. A lot of you guys, I already know you guys message me on Instagram, so just talk to me on there. And I'm gonna come out with another video with my official predictions for that card, and I want you guys to keep track of my record. I'm gonna keep track too, so we'll see. But today, I'm gonna predict the whole fight card for you guys. Pascal versus Edwards. I always take the grappler over the striker. I'm a grappler. I love grappling. I'm gonna take Pascal here. And confidence. I'm gonna lay some money on her. Liang versus Juarez. I think Liang's taking this. I'm laying money on Liang. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Kang versus Plata Grill. I'm gonna take Kang. Allan, run through those three. Let's see where we. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a talk going on.
Yeah, so I'm taking decisions on the first two. As I said, I don't think there's a lot going in either fight. I think we're going to be boards of tears, to be honest with you. So Jocelyn Edwards versus Ramona Pascal. I'm not taking either fighter. I'm not confident in either one of them. I'm taking over 2.5 or 3 rounds. That's what I'm doing. And then Silviano Gomez Juarez and Naliang again. I'm not even going to touch that fight. If I had to, I would take a decision, but I really don't want to. And then I'm not going to bet it, but fight number 3, I'd take Donna Bakary.
Damn, so we're just okay. We got some discrepancy here. I'm gonna love how this plays out and how we could talk about it next week. So, for Fialo versus Matthews, guys, I'm taking Fialo. You guys can prop him by knockout. Don't lay too much on it, because everyone, the casino and all the casuals are gonna be like, oh, they're gonna promote him as this huge knockout puncher, and the odds are going to be skewed a little. I'm just going to take the money line on Fialo. And I'm 50-50. There's ways for both of them to win. However, Fialo's never been submitted. He's very solid. He's incredibly physically strong. And the dude is nasty, man. He's gritty. What about you, Al?
Yeah, I like Fialo by knockout, to be honest with you. I think he's going to get it done. I don't have a lot of faith in Jake Matthews. That's really where that pick's coming from. I think the opponent's going to make the fight in this one, and Fialo is going to just add another piece to the hype train here that he's slowly starting to build with his first 2 first-round knockouts. I think he can probably add another one to this one. I even though I wouldn't bet specifically for a first-round knockout, I think he might get it. If I were to bet any prop, it would be Fialo by knockout.
Okay. We're kind of on the same page on the next one, too. We both got Mr. Wu.
You can't skip Steve Garcia.
Here's Steve. Oh, you're right.
I'm taking Steve Garcia over Heiser Matahaste. I don't think Matahaste's UFC caliber. We'll see on Saturday. I doubt it. I think Steve Garcia is going to win that one.
We've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm going to go with Steve Garcia on this one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Not interested at all in this fight.
Fair enough. Let's go to the next one. Wu Choy. I think we both settled on him as well to win that one. I wouldn't take a prop on that one. I'd just take Wu Choy. Then we got Brennan Allen versus Jacob Malcoon. I said Brennan Allen inside the distance. I know you disagree with that one a little bit.
Honestly, that's one of the fights I'm not even going to try to make money off of. I'm kind of I think Allen, it's a 60-40 fight. And how is it going to end? Definitely not going to play any props on this one. Maybe you could take the fight, goes to decision. That might be a good one. Or, could be a split decision if Allen gasses out. Allen has a tendency to slow down during his fights. He fights hard, but he slows down heavily, especially his grappling attack. So I could definitely see a split decision here if you guys want to play that prop. But, yeah, I'm not interested. So.
And then Jack Della Madelena, my guy, versus Ramazan Ameev. I know you're taking Ameev, but one of my picks for this fight fight card is Jack Della Madelena by knockout. So I'm sticking with that one.
I cannot wait. You know what? Jack Della Madelena is this young guy, hometown boy or something like that. I don't really understand those parts of the country, whatever. It's kind of like Canada. They're weird a little bit, but here in the D, we're pretty cool around here. But so I just want to know exact. So he's at 11-2. Excellent physique. Very pretty, man. Very pretty style. He looks so clean with his punches. So clean how he steps back in the pocket. Very powerful. Good conditioning. Good pace. His switch stance fighter does it seamlessly. You won't even notice. In his southpaw position, his jab is so effective. He's excellent, man. He's some clean boxing. I like watching him. I'm not gonna lie. He's a tight guard, can forward pressure, uses some teep kicks, solid boxing. And what he's really good at is feinting and then popping you with his jab, and then just stepping a little back outside of the pocket where you can't get to him, and then while you're retreating, pops you again. So super impressed, very sharp. But Amiv's not the guy, man. Amiv's not the guy, man. Amiv knows how to win fights. He's scrappy, and I love Gegard Mousasi. He has that kind of style. He reminds me of Gegard Mousasi. His facial expression doesn't change. I'm gonna take Amiv here, and I'm pretty confident with this one. Sorry, Jack. I like Jack. I'm sure after he loses this fight, we're gonna agree on taking him next time. He's gonna get a little punk. After the UFC realizes he's not as good as people think. So we'll see.
We will see. Next one, Manel Cat versus Bonsarin. I agree that probably this one isn't necessarily for betting, but I'm still taking Cat. The odds are a little bit too far away, and as I said before, Bonsarin is good value for daily fantasy, but realistically, I think Cap's gonna win, but the odds are a little out there.
What do you see in Cat, man? Please explain to me. What do you see in Cat?
I'll tell you what I see in Cap. I see
this guy superstar, and dude just tested positive for some performance enhancing drugs. He's fought at Ryzen. They don't they don't really test him Ryzen as much as they do in the UFC, and he hasn't really been that impressive. He's knocked out 2 bombs.
Well, I mean, I do think that Manel Cat had a shaky start, but he's starting to find his way in the UFC. He's got 2 straight wins, as you said. Both of them were first round knockouts. I think he's very athletic. I like his striking style. I like his positioning. I like his movements, and most of all, I like his power. I think he's got knockout power, and I think his power is a lot stronger than Bonsarin's. And if it's a stand-up fight, I think Cap's going to win it. Bonsarin's really only chance is to take things to the ground, and I haven't seen a lot of him there, so I don't know how he's going to fare.
And okay, I mean, skill-wise, I watched them very closely because I just couldn't understand what people are seeing in Cap. Yeah, I mean, he might land some power and take him out, but that's a possibility in any fight. I don't see how you're gonna bet that, as Rogerio Bonsarin has fought way higher. I'm so behind Bonsarin on this fight. He's much better as a fighter. I mean, if you got a keen eye for the fight game, you can see he's more skilled. Definitely, Cap is quicker. He has some fast hands, more athletic. His fight IQ is not really high. But watch his Ryzen fights, and you'll see that. Bonsarin, man, go watch his Brandon Royval fight. That was awesome. Brandon Royval is future champion. I don't care what anyone says. I love that guy. He lost that fight. What Brandon Royval, he would whoop Cap. Papa, whatever they call him. Bonsarin beat Chanel. I also think Chanel will probably most likely beat Cap. Bonsarin lost to Cara France. Cap has a win on him with Cara France, but Cara France, he's next level now. He excelled. He's not in their league anymore. So but Cara France will beat Cape. Ray Borg will beat Cape. Highland Paiva, actually, I'm pretty sure will beat Cape. Magomed Bibulatov, he'll beat Cape. So basically, everyone Rogerio has been fighting will also beat Cape. Man, he's gonna make me so much money. I love this. I'm gonna really like him after this. Not gonna lie.
This isn't one I'm going to be putting a lot of money on in general, as I said. So I can understand both sides of this one. I do think Cap's going to win, but we'll see. I'm not investing a lot of brain power on picking sides in this one. I think it is rather close. Let's move on to the next one. Whaley versus Joanna. Set it Joanna all the way. I think she won the first fight. She's going to win the second one. I'm not betting on Whaley. I haven't been truly impressed with Whaley since their last fight, and I think she lost it. So, I think Joanna's going to win this, and she's going to win the belt back.
I'm right with you, man. There's something about Joanna, man. She's she reminds me of like a dominatrix or some shit. I don't know why. Her attitude and her cockiness and her, but Willie Zhang, she's powerful. But when it comes to technique, Joanna Jędrzejczyk is the way more technical fighter. I think Joanna Jędrzejczyk will take this 3-round fight. She's going to fight smart. However, Weili Zhang, she has some power, 3 rounds. I think Joanna has better conditioning than Weili Zhang. But when it comes down to it, Joanna has she's more experienced. She's fought the tougher fighters. She's been in brutal battles. I'm going to take Joanna here. I'm pretty confident.
Nice. Yeah. Completely agree. All right. Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos. Don't want to spend too much time on this one. We really covered it already. I think it would be hard to bet against Valentina. She's going to win this fight. If you want to make it interesting, you can bet on how she's going to win this fight. But realistically, I would just avoid it altogether unless you want to throw it in as like a parlay booster. Maybe then you can sprinkle in a little bit of Valentina. But realistically, I wouldn't even waste my breath covering this one too heavily, since we all know what's going to happen. At the end of the day, Valentina's going to keep her belt, barring any major unforeseen circumstances. Then we get to the final main event. I know we disagree on this one. Glover Teixeira versus Jiří Procházka. This is the fight that the whole card was built around. I really, really do like Jiří Procházka. I think that his style will confuse Teixeira. I think that it's something to get used to for any fighter. Reyes couldn't do it, and I was very high on Reyes, and Blachowicz beat him, and then as we saw, Procházka picked him apart. It wasn't even close to what Blachowicz did to him, and Blachowicz really took Reyes to town. So I'm taking Procházka in this one against Teixeira. I think if Procházka can avoid the mat, the belt is as good as his. And as you said, I think the UFC made this matchup thinking that Procházka can take the belt and lead the light heavyweight division into the future. I doubt he would beat someone of the likes of John Jones, but if anything, we'll see John Jones in the heavyweight division. Who knows? But the light heavyweight division is at a different. It's in a different state than where it used to be, and I think at this point, Jiří Procházka is probably the future, and Glover Teixeira is the past. But we'll always appreciate Glover's time as champion.
And again, Jiří Procházka, these people are so high on him. Tell me, to answer this honestly, who is the more skilled fighter, Glover Teixeira or Jiří Procházka? When it comes to just skill-wise and overall well-roundedness.
That's not a fair question at all.
Answer it.
Skilled in what way? Skilled on the feet, skilled on the mat. If you're going to say on the mat, then yeah, for sure, Glover Teixeira is the more skilled. Whoever has the more experience is Glover. Okay. Yeah, for sure. But when we're talking about stand-up, Jiří Procházka will knock out Glover Teixeira in a boxing match. Skill it's different. It's not, you can't just say UFC all around skills. It's different disciplines. We're dealing with different. It's a hard question to answer. I think Jiří Procházka has enough to win this fight, whether we're talking about skill or not. Someone can beat a fighter while being the less skilled fighter. So I think that even though Glover Teixeira would win a grappling match, I think Jiří Procházka would win a boxing match. I think that's why we watch the UFC, to see the different clash of styles, and I think Jiří Procházka in this one will reign supreme. And yeah, Glover Teixeira being 42 has a lot to do with this. I think his tank's gone, his chin's gone, and he's gonna have a lot of trouble. But we'll see on Saturday how it goes.
Man, the disrespect these youngins have toward the OGs like Glover Teixeira. People, dude, this guy he's a beast, guys. Jiu-jitsu point, like, just go watch him and watch him grapple anyone in the light heavyweight division. Like, he makes them look like they've never stepped on the mat. Experience-wise, way more experience. Strength of schedule, definitely better strength of schedule. The only advantage I see here, and Glover can knock him out. Glover has power, but he chooses not to box because his chin's a little susceptible. Can Yuri knock him out 100%? But I don't see Yuri as this. He's touted like he has some impressive wins. He's got a win over Dominic Reyes by knockout. Is flashy as hell. Okay, people like that shit. Put down Volkan Oezdemir. About 4 other people did that before him. CB Dalloway, pretty sure I used to watch him when I was like 5 or 6 somewhere. I don't remember. Fabio Maldonado, again, on his way out. Muhammad Lawal on his way out. Brandon Halsey, don't know him. Let's see if anyone else rings a bell here. He lost to Muhammad Lawal. He beat Vadim Nemkov. That's really impressive, but that was in 2015, and everyone knows Nemkov has been on a tear ever since then. Stoshi Ishii, good win. But you get my point. And there's no point of arguing with everyone. I'm going to take Glover here. And I'm going to take Glover here. And can't wait. I'm excited for this one, actually.
Me too. Really, really excited for this card. As it says here, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to lock in all your bets before then. This Saturday in Singapore. We got 12 fights for you. Really looking forward to it. So that was it. That was the first show. Thank you all for watching. Had a blast.
First show, guys. First show. It's not going to be the last. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to improve the show. I promise you guys. We're going to put our best effort out there. And stay tuned. Subscribe. If you're not subscribing because you think I know what I'm doing, or Al knows what he's doing, just subscribe to hate on us in the comments. And when you start seeing my record start flying up, then you could subscribe. So give us a chance, guys. And Al, anything else you got to say?
No, good to go. We're gonna see how Saturday goes. Looking forward to it. Peace out, guys.